70 million people in the world stutter today. They all have their own unique stuttering story. 3,000 of them have finally had a chance to tell their personal story without stuttering right after they completed their 3-day intensive study course of the psychophysical training in the Etalon program classroom and eliminated their stuttering forever. Here is a story of Darin, one of our graduates who struggled with a severe stuttering for his entire life. This is how he spoke when he came to us.
I've had a speech impediment since I was about 4 years old. I've seen a few speech therapists.
Now listen to Stutter-Free Darin telling his personal life story only 3 days later.
The first time I started stuttering was when I was 4 years old. I went on a fishing trip and they videotaped me, and so like a few years later I looked back at that videotape and I saw that I had a really bad stutter, and I guess that's when I first realized that I had a stutter. And then in 5th grade I switched schools and I started to see a speech pathologist, and they were trying to work with me, but they would pull me out of class, which was always embarrassing. And I remember in 5th grade I would read in front of the class and I would have problems. And then the teacher would call on somebody else to read and I was always embarrassed about that. And then I moved on, and then towards high school my stutter really wasn't that bad. I had plenty of friends, I played sports. People were always encouraging to me. They understood me. So it basically wasn't a big deal in high school or even my first few years of college. And then I joined the Army back in 2008, and that's when things just started to spiral out of control. Because in the Army, you have to learn how to sound off. You have to voice your opinion right on the spot, basically. And I remember in the Army, we lined up in platoons, and we had to go down the line, say our last name, like sound off our last name just for like the roll call or whatever it was. And they would get to me and I'd try to say my last name and I would get stuck. I would say it over and over again. And then finally the person next to me would help me out, I guess, and say my last name for me. So that was always embarrassing. I hated that part. I would always get really nervous in front of everybody. And then as basic training rolled on, the drill sergeants, because they're drill sergeants, they're mean. Like, they like to make fun of people and stuff. Like, they would always make fun of my stutter. And like, they would talk to me, like, just make jokes and stuff. And I tried to take it as best as I could, but it was always, like it always hurt me, definitely a little bit. And then I remember one point towards the end of basic training, the first sergeant walked up to us because I was on duty at the front desk with another soldier, and we had to call at ease when he walked up. And since the other guy wasn't paying attention, I saw him first. And when he walked up, like, I tried to say at ease because you gotta yell it out for everybody to hear, and I couldn't get it out. So of course the first sergeant makes a huge deal out of it. It's like, "What's your problem, soldier? Why can't you say this?" I'm like, "Sorry, I have a speech impediment, I can't get it out right now, I'm sorry." And then of course the drill sergeant next to me started to yell at me, like, "Why didn't you yell at ease from?" I tried to explain it over and over again. And then finally they did a thing that they call smoking, which is like corrective training. And which is like you have to do like a lot of push-ups and sit-ups or whatever until like your arms are completely sore and numb. So I have to do push-ups while I'm saying at ease over and over again. I had to yell it out. Yeah, it was definitely an embarrassing moment. Today's the third day. 3 days ago I struggled really hard answering one-word questions. And now it's like really easy.
This could be you, verbalizing your story without stuttering too, in only 3 days.